Good morning. So day 22, but maybe we'll stop counting now and just keep going. So I hope you're doing okay this morning, and I hope if you're not doing okay, that this practice might be a source of support. That undoubtedly these are uncharted territories, and they bring us to the edge of ourselves. And a lot of what we feel in terms of the upheaval or the ambient fear um, I think it brings us into a lot of our own base fears, a lot of the stuff that we carry. And probably a lot of it has to do with our own mortality and our fears around that and how they manifest in our lives and how they move through us. And our practice is our practice of meeting ourselves, of just learning to watch and witness all that moves through us and around us with a quality of grace or allowing or acceptance. And in that way, we learn to maybe begin to soften the struggle that can so often take over. So we're sitting. Let's take the hands to the rib cage. So we're holding the ribs with the thumb at the back and the fingers at the front. And just take a few deeper breaths into the ribs so you feel the whole of the rib cage moving with the breath. Whole thing expanding and releasing. And as you fill the ribs up, we're going to lift one side and then the other side. So as you do this, just notice the space between the hips and the shoulders, and you just get to breathe into it and expand it and lengthen it. So all of these areas will tend to have a program, a dominant program of tightening. This is just the way our nervous systems have been arranged. That the sympathetic nervous system that is there to protect us, to keep us safe, tends to be the dominant structure. And it's just the way we've orientated our society and us as parts of that. And what our practice is interested in doing is this movement, this evolution from the sympathetic protective mechanism into the experience of, let's say, the more flourishing aspect of the nervous system, the parasympathetic, which is really interested with these qualities of freedom, compassion, these higher qualities, experiencing them in our bodies. And it manifests in the physical form as greater freedom, greater space, greater ease, greater mobility. But of course, all of it is part of the human experience, both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And they're both perfectly orientated. They're designed to be there. But how we participate in working with our nervous system is what we're interested in through this type of a practice. How we begin to access some quality of mastery over how the nervous system works within us. So that's our practice. And wherever we are in that spectrum, with the sympathetic on one end and the parasympathetic on the other, and some parts of our day we're more into the parasympathetic, some parts of the day or some experiences brings us more into the protective mechanism, and it's all perfect. We're just working with what we're working with, and this is the human condition, the human experience. So that fuller, longer, more open upper body, we close the eyes, soften the belly, soften, release the jaw if you can. Let your eyelids be heavy. And just bring your attention to your breath. And as you close the eyes, as you begin to notice the breath, you're also meeting everything else that's happening for you this morning. And you can hear the music, whatever noises that are moving around in the space that you're in. Whatever feelings are moving through you. And it's so important for us to tune into and acknowledge what it is that's moving through us. You might notice a layer of approval or disapproval as to what you might be feeling or noticing. And yet, even deeper than any of that movement that's happening within you, there is this deeper witnessing quality, this observing quality that is intrinsic to each of us. It is an innate aspect of our nature, and it is able to experience everything with an equanimity. That even though this aspect of our nature is part of this human experience, it's part of what we are, and it's in the experience, it's also holding this greater perspective in which all of it, even the difficult stuff, is okay in one sense. In the sense that if it's there, it's there. If it's there, it's reality. It's our experience in this moment. And it's simply acknowledging that this is the experience of this moment, that we're not fighting that. We're just letting the moment be as it is, as a starting place, starting point. So you notice whatever it is that's happening for you. And as you notice the mind wandering, when you become aware of that, you come back to your breath. And there is no shoulds in any of this. There's no right or wrong in any of this. So if the mind wanders off for the whole session, that's perfect. You're still getting something out of it, just what you need. If you can breathe through your nose, please do that. If not, that's fine too. And we'll move to some deeper breaths where we take these deep yet comfortable breaths from the belly right up into the top of the chest, deep inhalations and very easy exhalations. And we'll just work with this rhythm. So don't struggle or force in any way. Slow, steady breath. No part is forced or pressed or pushed or pitters out. That you're listening to the breath and you're creating a uniformity of movement through it, uniformity of effort. Stay with these deeper breaths. Long, deep breath. Slow, steady, long, deep breath. Stay with the breath. At the top of the next inhalation, could you pause for 2 seconds? And then as you release the exhalation, soft, soft. Do the same at the top of every inhalation, just that gentle pause. And continue in this way. Slow and steady. And then also introduce the pause at the end of the exhalation. Stay close to your breath, gently observing. Slow, long inhalation. Pause. Slow, long exhalation. Pause. Let's do 3 more rounds of these longer breaths. And at the end of your third longer exhalation, you take that pause and then allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Face relaxed, belly relaxed, shoulders relaxed. One definition of meditation is conscious rest. And it really is the idea that we're learning to rest more deeply. A rest that nurtures, supports, heals, rebalances, revitalizes. That a lot of the rest that we get, because the sympathetic nervous system, the protective mechanism, is unconsciously active, it doesn't allow us to drop into these deeper qualities of rest. And as we take these moments, our system is relearning how to rest, how to soften and become receptive. And then everything simply begins to move back into that harmonious rhythm, that we are rebalancing ourselves. And in the world we live in, this is, in a sense, a radical act. That so many of us are attuned to the machine, to that agitated frequency. And through a practice like this, we begin to release that agitation. And what we find difficult within our practice initially is noticing that agitated frequency within us. But we need to notice it to begin this process of releasing, letting go, and dropping deeper. We bring our hands together in front of the heart. And we think of gratitude. What could we be grateful for in this moment? Or when was the last time we felt gratitude? Sometimes we need to fake it to make it a little, to remember the last moment. Try to remember the feeling, to activate the feeling of gratitude. It might be a memory of something or someone. It might simply be available for you in this moment. And as you trigger the feeling, can you stay with it? Can you breathe into it? You notice what it feels like. And these are the ways in which we gift ourselves. And then to ourselves and to each other, and to this day, and to the unfolding that is happening through our practice, the self-unfolding, that the deepest contentment that we will ever know is already there. We're just learning how to find it. And it is something that is there in the face of whatever other challenges might arise for us. It is our bedrock, our birthright. So may our practice lead us down that path. And for a moment, we'll bow our heads. Perfect. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. Wish you a good day.